What's good, everybody? My name is Usica.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Beast.
Welcome back to the Necked Out Podcast.
The Necked Out Podcast, yo.
We have our environmentally friendly greens on today. Eat your veggies.
You already know.
I clearly don't eat my veggies. Damn. And you're over there looking like a champ.
I'm trying to.
You did not want to wear that shirt.
I know. It was a big
Tell
deal.
people why.
It's a big deal. I don't like the cut anymore. I feel like the neck cut is a bit off for me.
It's too wide.
Yeah.
Did you ever like V-necks?
Fuck no.
I was into them at one point.
You were into them? You would wear them? Or
Yeah, I would wear them. I would wear them, bro. I was mad.
How far was the...
Bro, there was one that was really deep down. I don't have pictures of them, but I was in the V-neck.
Wow, bro.
Yeah, I was into the V-necks for a cool minute. I was into the, like, fedora, kind of.
Uh-huh. What was it about? What was it about the V-neck, though?
I don't know. It was just in, bro. Like, look, probably still don't have any sense of fashion.
Yeah.
Anything that looks good. Now I'm more of like, I used to wear like these really loud shirts, bright, in your face. Like I used to always want to get these like crazy looking shoes to like be unique and all this shit. So stupid. But now I'm just like, I like my regular like shirt like this, a basic shirt with some jeans and like some black Nikes or whatever the fuck. But my style has changed drastically since I was like a teenager.
What is it though about the V-neck?
I don't know, to be honest. I think it was just in. It was just a thing that like
it's just because it was in?
Yeah, I think it was just. It's one of those things that like you see. It's one of those things that you see and you're like, you see it so much that at some point you're like, oh, maybe it's not.
Do you need the proper chest to rock a V-neck, you think?
Well, I think for any shirt, if you have a great physique, you look good in anything, right? But I think with the V-neck, what it does is I think it kind of highlights your shoulders, your traps more.
That's what it was doing?
Kind of, because it has more of like a little bit, yeah.
I just feel like that's maybe because I don't have a lot of chest hair. Maybe I'm a little insecure about it.
No, I think
I don't. Or is it a positive that I don't have a lot of chest hair?
I don't know. Maybe
we gotta ask the ladies.
We gotta ask the ladies. Ladies, do you guys
are you into the chest hair?
Do you guys like the chest hair? Do you like a hairy man in general? Like maintained down there? Like obviously, yeah, you have to maintain a little bit, but like, are you okay with some bush? Or do you like a clean slate? Like you could slide off, you could throw water and slip and slide off that shit, or what?
I had this conversation at a very young age with a female, and she was telling me like she didn't like the shave.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she said that she was like, it just felt like bad.
She didn't like the shaved?
No.
Like clean shaven?
No, she didn't want it.
It felt bad?
Yeah, she said she wanted like.
I could understand if it felt bad for her when the hair started growing back because it's prickly.
It's prickly?
Yeah,
that's
but
probably why.
Huh.
She just preferred the little. She just
little bit of rug, little bit of carpet. Mm-hmm. Okay.
She want a little carpet there.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, welcome back.
Is that a serious question that we're asking? Yeah, my bad.
It could be a serious question.
We're over there intruding on them.
I don't know.
If you do, like on the comments, just put like a bush. Or just put bush, and then
put a tree.
And then if they want the other one, what are they gonna
put a baby? Just put a baby.
Wow! Don't put a fucking baby.
Yeah. No. Put a baby. All right, so check it out.
No,
girls,
bro,
ladies,
if you
like bush, if you're real as fuck and you fuck with the Necked Out Podcast like that,
oh my gosh, we're gonna get one person.
Go into the comments. Oh my God. It's gonna be Larry.
We're gonna get one person, and his ass is gonna put both.
Yeah,
his ass is gonna put.
I like bushy babies. I like bushy babies.
Fuck no,
so,
no.
Oh, okay, fine. We'll create a separate series.
Okay, not the baby. Let's do something else.
I don't know.
Something like
a fruit, like an apple or something that has no hair on it.
That's true.
No fuzz.
So peach.
Okay, so peach if you like. Okay, so here we go.
Okay.
An apple, you like it clean, shaved, right?
Smooth
marble tops, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you like a little bit of fuzz, you put the peach.
Okay.
Right. So and fuzz by like what I mean by fuzz is like not when the hair's first starting to grow up, but it's not prickly anymore.
Yeah.
You know, it's just smooth.
There's a lot you got to carpet there,
Yeah,
and then the bush if you want the full jungle.
Like, you got the hedges, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want the full jungle. So apple for shaved, peach for a little bit of fuzz, and then massive the tree. If you want to put a
fucking tree for the
bush. So
I wonder.
nobody's
Imagine
gonna
there's
do
a
it.
lot of trees. I'd be like, God damn.
Some of y'all need to call your landscaper,
God
bro.
damn.
No, but since we're on the topic,
Yeah. It's around the top.
we're talking about relationships.
Doom,
Today, right?
Doom, doom.
So
that's my own little sound.
you
effect,
had
too.
that was terrible.
All right, try it again. We are talking about. Hit me with something. Relationships.
I don't even know if that was the
I
appropriate
know.
one because it made it sound like
What else do you have?
do it again. Do the intro.
All right, so today we are talking about. Oh, I'm going. Okay.
You hit say
Today we are talking about relationships.
Oh, this shit was too low. I dropped the ball. I put the volume too low.
We're still getting it.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Let's just get into it. Let's get into it. All right. So you had a question for me.
I do have a question for you.
You had a
I
question.
got multiple questions for you.
Of course you do. You're a curious man.
I am a curious man. Looking to learn, looking for some knowledge, some experience to apply in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking about you. I was like, yo, you know what? My boy Usica is someone who's not your normal, like I guess what you would think a home buyer is, right?
Okay.
You know, like there's no college degree with you, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But yet you're someone who still decided to jump into that.
Yep.
So I thought that was very interesting, and that's something that we could get into maybe later on because it's both related to you and your partner doing that. But today we're going to talk about relationships, and I have questions about a more mature relationship aspect of things.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because people are dating, and how, like, even nowadays, how serious is a dating scene? How serious? When do you think a relationship becomes serious? Like at what point? At what point does that transition?
I think when it becomes serious is when you meet the parents. When you meet the parents, that's how you know, because it depending on who you are.
Yeah.
Like you don't bring just anybody around your parents.
Yeah,
You don't bring randoms around your parents, right? You probably bring your close friends.
I think I could agree with that.
You know, I feel like most. Well, again, this is subjective to me.
Yeah.
But I do feel like once you start introducing them to parents, to other family members, or if you start taking them to family specific events, that's when you like, hey, okay, well, it's
that's
a little serious.
Serious. So I feel like a family event, that's serious.
Yeah.
Bro.
But are you talking?
I feel like that's more like you. I think at that point you've already introduced this dude as your man, right? You're going to a family event.
You could tell them, hey, I have a partner that I am interested in, I'm in a relationship with.
Yeah.
But I think for the parents, especially Latino parents, they think like, oh, that's just a friend, el amigo, la amiga, or whatever the fuck. But once they introduce you, then it's like, then parents are like, oh wow, so you got the nerve to bring this fucking shithead guy into my house.
Who is this piece of shit that you brought in here? Who is this fucking ogre-looking motherfucker
with the V-neck and the stretched out neck collar from a champion shirt there? And so I think that's when it becomes really serious. Yeah, it's hard to gauge when, like, because up until that point, and, you know, you're probably just going on dates and stuff like that, and that's nice. Like, it's fine, whatever.
You're going on dates, you're hanging out, you're talking.
You're becoming vulnerable with each other. You're opening up. But I think once you get to that point where, and it depends too, because some people aren't that close to their family. Some people like will never tell their parents, or they will tell them, better parents, like, okay, I don't give a fuck. Like, they won't go out of their way to be like, hey, let me introduce you to my parents because it's a big deal to me. Some of them might be like, if they're hanging out at the other person's house and the parents just so happen to be there, or they come by or whatever the fuck, then like, oh yeah, this is my boyfriend. Oh, hey, how you doing? You know, and obviously you have to do the whole, you know, introduction stuff.
Yeah.
But for some people, it's just not a big deal, you know? But I think for Latinos,
once you meet the parents,
yeah, it's a must.
Is it more serious for the guy to meet the parents than like you taking your girl to meet your parents?
It is. It is extremely important, fellas. If you come from a Latino background, first impressions are everything.
Damn, no way, bro.
First impressions.
You're hitting me with a lot right now.
Yeah. Trying to smack it into you. First impressions are everything because Um, it is the parents are like are only seeing you from the outside, right? So they don't know like what the dynamic of your relationship is.
Who's this tatted out bum that you're bringing?
Yeah,
over?
you know, like
Damn.
and yeah, it depending on what her parents are like, they might be like old school traditional, like they don't want to see you smoke, drink, no tattoos, no piercings, none of that. And if they see that, judged already. And that already you're putting yourself at a disadvantage because now you have to not only have them like you, but you have to make them see past the tattoos, the drinking, the smoking, the
Yeah.
piercings to even get to know you, right?
Damn. Okay.
So first impressions are everything, right? But if you're lucky and the parents are cool and they're like, hey, you know what? I don't care what you look like, as long as you take care of my baby and you treat her right and you don't fucking yell at her or abandon her, it's all good with me. There are some parents that are like that. My girlfriend's parents were very like, they weren't super strict with her once we got older. Obviously, as teenagers, at a certain point, they did kind of figure out like, oh, you have something going on with this kid.
Yeah.
Because he's always around when you have to go to these friend things. And like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
funny because the only way we would see each other in high school would be with other friends. So we had to like find a way to be like, oh, our group of friends are going here.
Yeah.
Let's go, because that's the only way we could never hang out one on one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
You do what you can.
yeah, especially back in high school, like her parents were very like strict about that.
Yeah.
But once we got older, it was more just like her parents, I think her mom or her dad approached her and they're like, hey, so you and Heldon, you guys are a thing, right? Aren't you? And so she was like, yeah. So she didn't really come up to them
Yeah.
and tell them like, hey, we're a thing. And then, but luckily, I've always been, I was raised to treat other people with respect, and I'm not a dumbass. So I was always
Tell 'em.
nice to her family. I was always respectful. I had manners,
Tell them.
and so that as soon if you can show your partner's parents that you have manners, this is coming from a guy's perspective, because we're talking as guys. If you can show your girl that you have manners, if you show her parents that you have manners, you will set a very good first impression, because they don't want somebody who's going to be rude or inconsiderate, to be with their daughter. Because if you can't treat other people with respect and manners, then how are you treating my daughter?
I feel like I'd be so nervous, bro.
Oh yeah,
I'd be beyond nervous.
I've
I've only had to do it once.
meet parents.
Yeah, and even then I didn't meet the dad.
Oh, you just met the mom.
Yeah, so the mom, I was like, I'm not tripping about. Like,
Like you straight.
Sometimes, like, I don't know. I feel like I just got that like face, or like with moms that they're just like, I don't know. I feel like just moms.
Yes,
Just
they
like,
were puta. Yeah.
no. They just like they hear and they just see that they just like he's a likable, like,
Yeah.
He's like I think they think like es un dundo salió este, pero
He's harmless.
Yeah.
¿Qué va a hacer? No,
Dundito.
no, mira.
Pasmadito un poco, pero
los brazos que tiene, ni
No.
mierda. No tiene nada.
yeah. So I've only had to do it like once, right? So
Yeah.
but yeah, I feel like if I had to like know that like, oh shit, I'm going to like meet your parents and be introduced,
Yeah.
I need to sit in my car with like the AC blasting and just trying to like breathe.
Yeah. It's nerve-wracking for sure, but the good thing is that once so let me take everybody back.
And you know what would suck if we're having dinner? Like, and I'd be that nervous. I'm sure I wouldn't even have an appetite. I'd be like, oh my gosh.
Really?
Now,
Wow, you're a train wreck, bro.
Now, like, I gotta sit here
And pretend I'm
and I would have to eat that shit, bro. You know how it is.
Yeah.
You're not gonna sit down at that fucking table and not eat.
Yeah.
You're not.
Even if you're not hungry, if
you
you're
better
full,
fucking eat that shit.
you better
bro.
eat everything. And you better, even if it tastes like trash, you better be like, save one for the team. Be like, está bueno. Yeah, fucking right.
Yeah.
But okay, so let me take you guys back with my side, right?
Yeah.
So setting a first impression is great. And also being, you have to show that you want to be a part of her family, So whenever there are things going on, like, hey, there's my if she goes, hey, my aunt or my uncle is having a birthday party, do your best to go to those events. Show yourself
Do
because
your best.
yeah,
to go?
because you have to show them, hey, I am a part of her life, and I know that by being a part of her life,
Yeah.
your other family members are also a part of her life. So I have to be there and show you that I want to be a part of her life, which means I come to family parties. So that also amps up the level of seriousness in the relationship, and they start to see. And obviously, you still have to make a good impression with the uncles, the aunts, cousins, whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah.
But the mere fact that you're there lets them know, hey, this guy is serious about dating my niece or my cousin or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And so you start building up that rapport, right? And here's the thing. Thank the Lord that my parents always brought us around to these like functions, these family functions with older people, because you learn how to talk to older Latino people, older Latino parents, moms and
Yeah.
dads and uncles and stuff. And as a kid, you hate going to these parties because you're like, ugh, there's nobody there my age.
Yeah.
I don't want to be there. I'm gonna fall asleep.
Yeah.
Me and Edson, right?
And you both of y'all developed those skills to just talk to adults.
Exactly. And that's what pays off because my girlfriend would tell me, like, I don't know how you are able to have a conversation with like a 50-year-old
Yeah.
Mexican dad or whatever the
Yeah.
fuck. And I'm like, it's because I was around them for
Yeah.
so long, and it's easy for me to talk to them. I can talk to them normally and like not make it feel weird.
Yeah.
And that gives me another advantage because now they're like, oh, this kid is not like out of touch. He can speak Spanish.
Yeah.
He understands references. He understands jokes. He
Yeah.
can make jokes as well. And when you start doing that,
I feel like I'll fall short of that. Usica,
you got to get your game up. And I'm telling
Bro.
you. And again,
My Spanish jokes are trash.
Nah,
I
bro.
barely even catch them when they're saying them.
Oh, you got to start watching novelas. You have to really immerse yourself into that, like into that family
Yeah,
like gathering, because that in and of itself is a completely different dynamic.
Yeah. Although
You
with
know?
Larry Pops, I feel like with Larry's dad, who like, but he speaks both English and
Yeah.
Spanish. But when he tells Spanish jokes, I kind of laugh all the time.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, wait, what? Like I kind of like try to figure that out to make sure I'm laughing for the right reason.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, it's still hilarious. I
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah.
But
So-
like I feel like for me to give a joke in Spanish, I wouldn't even try.
Yeah, no, I'm not even a joke. I don't even tell jokes either. But depending on who
Spanish?
you are in Spanish, but I do
Because you get on the roll, bro.
I like to milk it for sure.
When you're on your shit, bro. That shit is
I'm
jokes.
just doing cows, bro. And so, but the thing is, like, when you're when you can get into like kind of shoot the shit with them,
Yeah.
that's when it gets good. That's when they start to kind of be like, oh, this guy's like pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
he's real. Like, he doesn't try to be like all like buttoned up and try to put this fake wall up. Like this guy's like he's honest, and that's what people want, is that you're not trying to be like fake around them. And so that to me is like a massive thing to try to get involved with that other person's family.
Yeah.
The other thing too is just is being like stupid fucking nice to their siblings, especially the younger ones. If you can show that if you're super nice and caring and like just overall good with their younger siblings or younger cousins, it's game over. You're in, bro. Because all of these things is just like they don't want to see, like, or they don't necessarily see how you treat them in your day-to-day relationship, right?
Yeah.
Or whenever you guys are on dinners. What they want to see is that you know how to treat and respect her family members, because that's as close as they'll get to seeing what you're like in a relationship, because it shows that you have manners outside of the relationship. And that is usually a good indicator. Well, some people, they could fake it and shit, but it's a pretty good indication of like, okay, this person is well-mannered, respectable, in some cases presentable.
Yeah.
And so yeah, those are really like,
So there's that. So meeting the parents is the real deal. I feel like meeting family and parents is a step above just being introduced as a boyfriend. Because
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, this is my boyfriend, right? But then I feel like, okay, now you're stepping into the big leads of like, yo, you're going to a family event here. Like,
Yeah.
this is she's bringing you along to like these events now. Like,
Yeah.
it's bigger. I feel like it's serious, you know?
Yeah.
Like being introduced as a boyfriend, like, think about it. Like, you could tell your parents, like, oh, yeah, I have a girlfriend. She's cool,
Yeah.
whatever, blah, blah,
And
blah.
they're like, whatever. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
whatever.
Good for you.
But then, like, presenting and then, like, going to an event, I feel like
Mhm.
that's, like, serious.
It's a very
serious,
it's a,
top-notch.
like an intimate thing because
Yeah.
you know at a family party it's like okay well this is where family comes
Yeah.
and if you show up it's because again you're telling them hey I want to be a part of your family
Yeah.
you know even if you don't want to go just go suck it up if you're not used to doing that
No,
those
you
kind
have
of
to
things
go.
you just have to go
Yeah.
it's a part of you can't avoid it
It's one of those things where, like, you're getting into a relationship and those, like, you cross those lines as far as, like, her social people and her family, like your worlds are going to collide, you know.
Mhm.
And it's best to be like, maybe what you're saying is true, like have the best moments and interactions, just shooting the shit, respect,
Yeah.
you know, all those things are great things to continue to knowing that like, oh yeah, he's gonna come, he's a respected, like if you go to another event they're not
Yeah.
tripping, like is he gonna be respectable,
yeah
is he a
is gonna
weirdo?
get drunk and
Yeah, like,
crazy
yeah, exactly. Like they
Yeah.
already know, like, no, he's chill, he'll come, and then now it's just like that thing. So
yeah
it
It's-
is serious.
It's incredibly serious, and I'll take you guys behind the scenes into one of my moments of that with my partner's
Okay.
parents. It's weird calling her girlfriend because we're not like
Yeah.
in high school. So I just if you hear me refer to her as partner, then just know that it's my girlfriend.
Yeah.
I just say partner. So my girlfriend, damn. So my partner, right? She we recently had her family over. Her parents came over
Oh,
for the
no
first time.
way.
Yeah, they came over to the house for
Wow.
the first time.
Yeah.
And I've had multiple conversations with her parents. I've spent a weekend with her and her parents and some of her siblings at this place called Idlewild.
Wow.
It's like in the forest up in
Damn.
San Bernardino, kind
Damn.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
how
yeah.
long?
of. Like 2-3 days, I think.
Fuck, how
Yeah.
was that, bro?
It was fine. It was fine, bro.
That's
like
that's a vacation.
Oh, yeah.
Which is more serious than an event.
yeah, because you're spending 3 days with them, and
my
yeah, it's just like finding things to. The tricky part is like with her dad because
Breathe.
her dad is a little bit more quiet, so you have to kind of like carry a conversation with him. Like he'll talk to you and you know shoot the shit back and forth, but you have to initiate it with him.
Yeah.
So that to me was it's always a little bit like a little tricky. The mom is super cool. Both of them are super nice, but
Yeah.
the mom is very like easy to talk to. So I don't trip about that really. But anyway, so that experience was cool. But so going back to them coming over to the house, right? So they came over for the first time. Oh, it was during my partner's birthday.
Okay.
So they came. It was her parents, her 3 sisters, her niece, and then her nephew.
She has 3 sisters. I
2
didn't know she
nephews.
had 3 sisters.
Yeah, so she has 3 sisters. 2 of
Wow.
them are older. One of them is younger. She also has an older brother.
Oh, okay. So she had the family over.
Yeah, except her brother. Her brother didn't come. So everybody was there except
Yeah.
her brother, and so they came and we showed them around, and I
Yeah.
was trying to be like actively a good host, always asking them, "Hey, do you want this? Hey, have a seat here, or feel free to
Beast likes the Oreos that I keep in the cupboard. Do you guys want any?
don't touch those because
Those
those
are for
belong to
Beast.
Beast."
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was just showing them around, and they had known we had bought a place.
Yeah.
But it was their first time there.
Going in,
Yeah, and so it was good. It was fine. I was talking to the dad. He was talking to me. He was asking me about my loser ass career. Damn. Said, why are you a fucking loser? I hope people don't think that I'm like low key depressed.
my
I'm not. I
God,
just
bro.
like to make jokes about myself. Okay, I'm not. It's not a cry for help.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. But so we were talking about it, and he would ask
Yeah.
me about music. So it was cool. Like we were talking back and forth, and her nephews were there. They were having fun.
Yeah.
and we were playing this game called the voting game with her siblings, which was really fun. It's a dope game,
Yeah.
and overall it was great. It was good because they came to spend time. We broke bread together.
Hey,
And
that's fucking.
it's important. All these things are important. And then at the end, here's another thing. When we were in the process of getting getting our condo, her parents wanted to actually talk to me about us moving in together. But it never happened for multiple reasons.
You were busy. Yeah.
Shit, it just
Yeah.
never happened. It just never happened, right? And so they came, and then at the end, once they were leaving, the mom and the dad were like, "Well, hey, I know we didn't get a chance to talk to you, because for whatever reason we weren't able to," and and so we just wanted to, we wanted to just congratulate both of you on what you're doing, and she was like, you're a son to me now, like you're part of the family. And so when she said that, I was like, oh my god, bro. Mission accomplished, bro. And so
I'm a mess.
So she was very like, you're obviously a part of our family.
Wow.
And we're always here for both of you.
Did you
guys
cry?
No, I didn't cry.
No?
I ain't no bitch.
Fuck.
No, I was just
I feel like I would cry to some shit like that.
well, see, here's the thing. It depends. If getting through to her to the parents was a challenge and a struggle, somebody would probably cry. But to me, it wasn't really a struggle. I knew what I had to do. Like
I'm just like an emotional wreck sometimes, bro.
Maybe,
I'd cry
yeah.
for fucking anything.
You'd probably cry and your girlfriend would be like, babe, why are you crying?
This is a fucking dumbass that I'm telling you about that I'm trying to get with.
Right? Yeah. And so
I'm just so emotional that they're
I'm just happy.
passing bread.
I still love you. so it was cool. Like they had always been welcoming, obviously, but they just made it evident, like, hey, we're happy for you too.
Like, you're part of the squad now.
You're part
bro.
of the squad,
You're
part of
team,
the fam.
bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
And it was just good. Yeah.
Hey, shout out to you, bro. Getting part of the team officially. Let's go.
And so that was it. Like, it was great. And obviously, like, and it's different because with my parents, like, my parents have been around Leslie for so long. Like, they know who she is. They didn't really have to have that talk with her. Like, they love her.
That's because with the girl,
it's just the guy to the girl. It's so much easier. It's way easier.
I don't know. I bet
really?
you if we had a woman here, she would say otherwise.
Oh.
She'd be like, I don't know. I probably got some haterade going on with
maybe,
the mama,
yeah,
or the sisters. They didn't really like me. Like, I could hear. I could definitely hear.
That's true.
Especially if it's like the only boy or some shit, and he's like, "Ay, príncipe, rey, mi bebito."
That's another
like
thing.
that.
Actually, my mom was not very fond of my partner at first when we were in high school. Obviously, this is like long ass time ago.
High school,
but she was like, I am my mom's first boy.
Oh, okay.
And she's Salvadorian. Salvadorian moms are extremely attached to their boys, like ridiculously attached. So when my mom, I brought her around, like, my mom wasn't mean to her. Yeah, but you could just tell that my mom was like, someone is challenging for my son's love, huh? I don't fucking think so. Knives come out. Right?
Oh,
but obviously after that, like, my mom warmed up to her, and now like they're totally fine. They get along, and it's great. But being a part of like a family like that is interesting, because you see, once you meet the family and you meet the sisters and you meet the brothers, like, you understand why this person is the way they are, and vice versa. Like, a lot of things start to come together. You start to realize their traits, their personality traits come from being raised with certain siblings, being spoken to certain ways, expressing love certain ways. It's just like, me and my partner could not be more different. Could not be more different. It's so funny, but yeah. So that's kind of it. Like,
so that's definitely like what you're saying is just like, that's an important part of like that relationship, like stepping into those serious relationships.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what about like, those people that like, because I feel like, what is what are people doing now that they're dating? I feel like dating has changed now. Like relationships have changed a little bit now in our time, you know?
Yeah.
Like that whole like being a couple thing and like it's changed a bit like from how much you wanted it back then. I feel
Yeah.
like now people are like learning and like seeing that like, you know, you don't need to be a title with each other, you know?
Yeah.
You could be like so focused on other things and then just have like an open relationship with multiple people,
Yeah.
right? And just be cool with that. And that
Yeah.
dynamic works for you at that moment, at that stage. You're not emotionally available for people at that moment. So I feel, and then like back then that would be like ridiculous to hear. And now
Yeah.
it's not uncommon to hear.
Yeah.
You know, something like that is like, oh yeah, like
Yeah. I have like 10 other boyfriends.
I've heard that before. Like, I've like, you know, I've heard of stuff like that before. So
Yeah. I mean, it's strange because, and we're also in the digital age.
yeah.
Like, I feel like the way we, what's that? Court. The way we court the other sex or whoever
Oh,
we're trying
that's
to get
changed.
interested in is completely different now. Like
Yeah.
back when we were and obviously we're aging ourselves here, but back when we were in high school, like, you know, or even middle school, you had to like call them
At night,
at night
so you don't get charged.
so you don't get charged, and so the parents
On the
aren't around
home line.
on the home line.
And you're hoping that they're knocked out, not listening.
Yup. Oh, and
Oh
you're
my
hoping
gosh.
you're hoping that the parents don't pick up either. So
That's
that's
the
why
worst,
that's why they
bro.
tell you, hey, call at this. Don't call yet. Don't call
Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
Okay, call now.
It was
And then
always
they-
after 9 that you would for sure receive a call.
Yeah.
And then like at a specific time that like they're knocked.
Yeah. Exactly. So
And I'll call you.
don't call me. I'll call you. Okay.
Yeah.
So it was like that, dude. Like, and we were, and mind you, we were also in like the early stages of the internet.
I think
so
kids don't know what that was like. These
what,
new kids.
calling? No,
They
it's
don't know
because
what the fuck the home line was like.
No, because every kid now has their own phone, so you have a
Yeah.
direct line to
Yeah.
them. You know, so it's completely different. I would say it's easier, but it's also harder because now you have things like dating websites, and now like the pond is massive. So now people are just throwing out lines, as many lines as possible, and trying to see what hits.
You know?
And sometimes necessarily it's not them like even looking. They're just like, I just want to catch something.
They're just throwing.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just gonna throw.
And whoever comes my way,
They're gonna catch one.
I'm gonna see. We'll see what happens. You know, as opposed to being like, well, I like this person. I met them at this bar or whatever. You know, I feel like. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Say what you were gonna say.
Well, I was just gonna tell kind of like a funny story. I
Uh-huh.
remember back then, like I got this girl's number in like elementary school, and
baller, dog.
yeah, back then, you know, home line, everything.
Got her fax machine. Damn.
And then like I was excited to call her, bro, and I could just imagine this whole scenario now as I'm older. I call her, and then her fucking scary ass voice of a dad picks up, you
Oh
know,
shit.
and he's like, "Who are you looking for?" And I was like, you know, just I could imagine my little tiny ass voice. I'm looking for Crystal. And then like he's like, she's not here, or some shit like
Who
that.
the fuck are you?
Yeah, bro. And then I think I just clicked. I got so scared. I couldn't even believe that I said that. But imagine you as a dad hearing like a little ass boy call
Yeah,
your house for
your daughter.
Oh my
Fuck.
gosh.
What kind of dad do you think you would be?
Me?
Yeah. If you had a daughter. If you
I
had,
had a daughter.
Yeah.
I'd be fucked because she would have me wrapped around her fingers, bro.
Aw.
No
You'd
question.
be a daddy's girl for sure.
Yeah. She it would just be facts. There's no way to avoid that.
Yeah.
Same. I think if I had a boy, same thing. Like, but I know for a girl, it'd just be over with. Over with. I'd be
Yeah.
like, I'd tell my wife or my girl, I'd be like, yo,
This girl's never getting married.
You gonna have to like help me here with this one. 'Cause if she comes and asks me, I'm gonna most likely
I'm gonna
break
say
and
yes.
cave.
I'm gonna say
You
yes.
know, you gotta
Daddy,
be the
can I-
strong one.
Okay, it's not bad. It's
Yeah,
okay.
you gotta be the strong one for the both of us.
All right. Well, okay. So going back to the whole
Yeah.
dating thing, right? Like, and that goes into like, how do you approach somebody? How do you approach somebody that you're interested in? Well, back then, the way I remember doing it is like you would have to get into that person's circle, because in high school, people hung around. They had their cliques, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I would say at Marshall, people had their cliques, but at least my class, I feel like people had their cliques, but they also were cool with other people.
Yeah.
You know, like they weren't so like exclusively around these people, and I would never talk to anybody else. And so you would have to kind of get into that person's group of friends. And it's also like let's be honest. Let's be real here. Let's be 1,000% honest. The first thing that attracts you to somebody is
The features.
their features.
Yeah.
Their physical features.
Yeah.
Their face, their pretty if they have a pretty face,
face,
pretty eyes, pretty smile, and vice versa for a guy if he's handsome looking.
Yeah.
And everyone's standard is
And
subjective
type
to that.
is different.
Everyone has different types,
Yeah.
right? So it's all in the person who is scouting, right? So that is the first thing that draws you. It's the same thing that draws us with like dating sites. Why do we have pictures? Default pictures, profile pictures, because you want to see what the other person looks like,
Yeah.
right? And if looking at the picture, you go, doesn't really look like the type of person that I would want to go for, you don't talk to them then.
Yeah.
So that's how we decipher.
I'm not attracted to this person, which means I'm
Yeah.
probably not interested, which means I'm not going to swipe left.
Exactly.
Or right. Or
yeah,
whatever
or whatever
up
it is.
or
We
down,
don't know
whatever
how
the
it
fuck.
works.
Yeah.
We just know you got to swipe somewhere.
Swipe somewhere.
Yeah, and so that is like how it starts, right? But then how do you actually get to talk to them? Well, if you know the person's friend, you can be like, "Hey, can you find out like, hey, if they're single, if they're looking to talk to somebody, like what's their situation
That's
like?"
funny. That used to be back then, bro.
Yeah. I don't think it's like that. I think now
Yo,
we're
do you
very
know if
just
she has a boyfriend.
yeah. I think now it's just like you just straight up ask them.
Just slide
You know,
in the
I think people are
DMs.
more obvious with their intentions now. But back then it was very much like you had to like kind of tippy-toe around a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And then so if they said, "Oh, hey, yeah, like, you know,
You should write her a letter.
she actually thinks you're kind of cute."
Oh, shit.
If you got that, you're
You're
in the
in,
clear.
bro.
You're
You're
in.
in.
You're like, okay,
You got the
don't
green
hesitate.
light.
You got to just catch her when like, you know, maybe she's walking to a class, when she's not walking with anybody, or if the other friend who's walking with her knows your intentions, she might just be like, "Oh, hey, I gotta go to the office," so she leaves you two alone. Which shout out to all the wingmen and the wing ladies that do that. You guys are awesome. Okay, they try to like kind of set you.
just
Angie
let you have
did that for
just
me.
let it happen. Just like
Yeah, Angie did that for me and Leslie. So she was kind of there being like, not like again, not like taking teams, but being like, "Oh, I see you two have a little little thing going on."
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to facilitate that just a little bit. And so that's how you get in, and you start talking to them, and you start, you know. Oh, here's another thing, girls, guys. If you can make a girl laugh, you are already ahead of 95% of the people.
stop lying.
Promise you.
For real?
If you can make a girl laugh,
That's hilarious.
if you can make, and obviously I'm not saying like that's the only thing that's gonna make her want to go out with you and get in a
But
relationship.
if you don't even speak, she just looks at your ass and starts
Says
laughing,
that.
bro.
If you haven't said a word and she starts laughing as you're approaching her, you should get out of there. Just moonwalk back into the hellhole that you came from.
Bro.
Yeah,
No,
because
you just say that. I would say like, yo, you have the greenest light ever, bro. You haven't even hit him with that first joke, and she already dying at
maybe
your
she's
ass.
laughing at what you look like though.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
bro.
some girls are
Imagine.
like that. Some girls don't want a certain guy to approach them, and that's total. I mean, that's their preference. The same way, like maybe a guy
Yeah,
probably
just like
wouldn't.
we wouldn't
either.
approach a certain.
Yeah. So you're in the circle right now. You're talking to her, right? You're breaking down her guard, because most girls will have their guard up still, you know, because you're just a guy. Who knows? There's probably a billion other guys
don't know
that are trying to talk
yeah.
to her.
Yeah,
You know, so
exactly.
you have to be funny. You have to be not like
yourself too.
you have to be yourself. Don't be overbearing. Don't try to like get her to like go out with you right then and there. No, establish a friendship first to an extent, because there is a thing
Beyond
called the
that
friend zone.
friend zone.
You don't want to get left there, right? So
What is
So you-
this? A dating advice episode? What the fuck is going on?
I don't know. I'm just trying to like,
Yeah.
I guess
Help these guys out.
help. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to explain where all of this
Yeah,
courting
yeah.
comes from in our time, and maybe how you can still apply that today. It might be different today. That's the thing.
Oh, it's
Right.
hella different
So
now.
that's kind of how you there was a little bit more work. There was more. There was 100% more face-to-face work that you had to do. It's not like today where you just slide a DM, and if you have a good-looking body
Pics,
and you have good pictures,
storyline.
they might be more like, "Oh, okay, yeah, like what's up?" They'll entertain you, which is kind of the same way that you would in person. That's what they judge you based off of, is your looks, right? But
Yeah.
in this case, you're hiding behind a screen. So if you get rejected, it's not as embarrassing as you would if you were like in person.
Yeah.
Her friends are around. They're laughing at
Bro,
you.
you know what I was
They're
just-
grabbing your man titties. They're making fun of you.
You know what I'm thinking right now?
What?
School, like high school, is probably so fucking different now with the new technology that's out.
Oh yeah.
Like, bro, I was just thinking, you know how quick it would be to cheat now? I would tell my homies, yo, send me a picture of the test with your answers on it. And I would literally just like look at that shit. And
In
like
an instant.
in an instant, right? And just have that shit. Homework, the same shit, bro. Send me a picture of your fucking homework.
Yeah.
And now it's not like, oh, I have to go meet you somewhere, give you my homework,
And then you have to give
that
it
you
back.
copy it fast enough to
yep.
give. Now it's just like, bro, I did my homework. I'm sending it out. You can even charge people now. Yo, homework pick for this week, $5. Sending that. Venmo me or some shit.
You know what I used to do in elementary school?
What?
This is low key illegal, but
In elementary school
in
already illegal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good sign for me, right?
Yeah.
So I would I was and in elementary school I was kind of tech savvy. And so what I would do is everyone remembers LimeWire, right? Napster, whatever the fuck. And or FrostWire was another one. But predominantly use LimeWire. And so I would go and like download music, obviously, and put them on CDs because back then we didn't have phones or MP3 player. We did kind of, but they were more expensive. So you would put them on a CD, at least in my time in elementary. So you put them on a CD, right? And so what I would do is I used to be really into Pokemon cards. I don't know if I've told this story before.
I
might
don't
have
think
told it.
so.
So I would go and tell people, hey, no, I'm sorry. This is a different kind of way. But I would go and burn CDs with what people wanted, like what music people wanted. And I'd be like, hey, give me some of your Pokemon cards. And I would collect them. Yeah. And the other thing I would do is I would also have a Game Boy. I had a game. I was one of the few kids that had a Game Boy at that school. And so I would, like my friends would be like, hey, let me play your Game Boy. I'd be all right, give me a couple of your good cards. So I was hustling, bro.
These kids
and I had I had the holographic cards. I had the Charizard. I had the Blastoise, like the Mewtwo's.
Shit,
I had them top notch. I don't know what happened
you
to
were
them.
really into that.
Yeah,
shit.
so it's just funny. I was doing that illegal shit. I was hustling on the side. But anyway, getting back to the whole the high school thing, right? So courting somebody back then is completely different. At least I would imagine to how it is now, because now you can, like I said, you can cast a wide net and see what happens. Like see who
you could
who
slide
catches.
into like 20 DMs. And
You
see
can
which
send,
one
send
takes
the
a bite.
same message. You can send the same exact message to 20 different people, right?
can.
And see who bites, see who responds back, right? And then if they don't respond, it's like, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna keep doing it. Can you imagine being in high school and going up to 20 different people in your school and asking them out at the same time?
Yeah, no.
You know, like, do you know how fast word would get around? And it's just virtually, you wouldn't do that. Like, nobody does that.
Yeah.
And so it's completely different. I think now it takes less work to get your foot in the door per se, but it also takes more work because now every other guy who was too scared to go up to a girl in person now has his platform to just cast a wide net.
Some shit.
So now
comment on their story.
Now you're competing.
Start a conversation.
Now you're competing against other fishermen.
Yeah.
And they're all out there casting their net. So how do you separate yourself?
Yeah.
Well, I would say it's harder now to separate yourself because you are at the same starting line that everybody else is at. At least when you're in high school, if you see a girl and like you like
ask her friend
or
to
her friend,
ask her friend like, oh, you know what? I think your friend is cute or whatever.
you already
Like,
have an advantage.
she's
there.
like telling him, oh, you know what? I heard.
She's
What?
planting
Tell
seeds,
me.
planting seeds.
You're
know?
planting seeds to hope that she goes and takes those seeds.
And plants a farm.
Yeah.
And so it's harder to do that. I feel it's harder to do that online because that girl is getting the same messages from like thousands of other guys.
Yeah.
Whereas again, in person, it's different. She probably doesn't have 1,000 guys going up to her. She probably has a couple, but it's not to the point. And some guys might not even go up to her. Some guys might only tell their friend, hey, can you tell her that I like her or whatever, but they don't have the balls to go up to her. And that's what she's waiting for. She's waiting for a guy to come up to her, right?
Yeah.
So, in this day and age, I think
Shit has changed for sure.
It has changed so much that, like, I would be lost
What,
if I was
okay,
single.
so if it's changed so much, like, what Wait, say that again. You would? You
I
think
would
so?
be lost if I was single.
For
Like
reals?
if and I was trying to do this dating stuff,
Yeah.
and I would just give up.
Nah, fuck no.
Nah, you're right. I
No,
wouldn't give
fuck
up.
no.
No, but
That
it
sounds
just
crazy.
would be like it's a chore. It would be like a fucking chore to try to like find something meaningful with somebody through a fucking screen,
Yeah.
and then
You might have to, yeah.
go through all this work to try to like get to know
Show
them,
interest,
show
yeah.
up for date, and then have it be like, no, it didn't work. Oh, now I got to do this all
Yeah.
over again.
I get that. For
You know?
Sure.
So
But I think like Instagram and social media can give you like a little glimpse of like their likes, and you kind of like see like if someone like say is into fitness, right? You're gonna see them post more about fitness.
that's true.
Build a relation, or like you see that they like that, you like their shit, you comment on their shit, right? So now you see you guys have like a vested interest, kind of, right?
Yeah.
And then you could go like on a hike or some shit, or you
Yeah,
could go,
yeah.
I mean, if they would like to, because if you're into fitness too, you would be posting the same thing, and now both of you parties are seeing that you guys visually kind of do the same thing. You guys
Yeah.
visually both are into the same little interest.
Yeah.
So on that aspect, I feel like it would give you a little edge.
Yeah.
Because you already know.
I guess, yeah,
you
it
have
is.
an edge there. But
It's
as far
easier
as
to pick 'em out.
execution goes,
Yeah.
and like also just like where you're getting it,
How do you stand out?
or just get canned and left on red.
Just get kicked down the road?
Just get left on fucking red.
Yeah, it's difficult, bro. Like it's difficult. And again, I'm not speaking from experience. I
Yeah.
just know this because I hear stories about these kind of things,
Yeah.
like where people get catfished. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how do people still
Get catfish.
catfish? How is this a fucking thing? Like, it's so strange to me how the human mind is so okay with being so open with somebody that they've never met, and like giving all this
Yeah.
like information. Like, I know we've seen catfish multiple times.
Yeah.
People are the dumbest, bro. Like, they give out their like bank account information. They're sending them money. Like, dog, are you fucking serious? I would never do that to a stranger. Like, that's it. But
Yeah.
I think it's that disconnect from
Yeah.
like person in person.
And what if like, okay, let's say now someone is like taking their relationship to that next level of like, this is a serious relationship. We did all that. We clicked, met the parents. Like, what do you think from your experience as a male helps in the longevity portion of a relationship? Because if I'm not mistaken, bro, for me, my like general like view of things is like when I see somebody with somebody, I'm like 1 to 2 years tops. After the like,
No way. Are you
yeah,
serious?
yeah, like after the 2
You're
years,
throwing out expiration dates already?
yeah, because it's like
That's funny.
it's just those are the marks. I feel like if you could get past that 1 year mark,
Yeah.
okay, you're shooting for that next one, right? And then also like that 2 year mark is testable. Like I feel like that 2 year mark with somebody, some shit is gonna go down.
Yeah.
That you guys are either gonna be so sick of each other that it's gonna be like fuck it, whatever. Like you're
Yeah.
more willing to be like fuck it. It's been 2 years, I'm done.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like once you pass, like it's like that first year mark. If you pass that shit, you're in like okay. There's like it's gonna be rocky, but you're in potentials of like getting to that second year. But once you pass year number 2, I feel like okay, now you're gonna get into like a long like you're going for that long term
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
now,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree 100%. So back to your original question, like what is not, I guess not a secret, but what helps in longevity, right?
Yeah.
I think I think now more than ever, like it's okay to be picky about who you want to date, because you can have a certain set of goals and you could tell that person, hey, you know what? I want to travel my whole life. So I'm not going to have a stable living condition in one certain area for more than like 2 years. So I'm moving every 2 years. And that other person has to either be okay with it. Like if that's something that for you is a must and you are not compromising that for anybody, that other person has to be okay with that. It's the same thing with like in a previous episode we were talking about the whole actress thing, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to be okay with what you're getting yourself into if that person is already in that lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
So knowing like what are your what you can compromise on and what is non-negotiable,
Yeah.
and if you guys are on the same page, Cool. You got probably one of the hardest things out of the way.
Yeah.
Next thing is like your financial views, your like family views, and I would say even like political and religious views have to be. They don't have to be on the same page, but they have to be kind of like close in a sense.
Yeah.
You know, like me and my partner, we would consider ourselves a little bit more like progressive, liberal. If she was like very conservative or alt right, it would not work out at all. You know, so you have to take some of these things into account. So that's just on like, and I know it's very dense. It's like a very heavy. Those are very heavy subjects to talk to somebody about right off the bat. But I think if you establish that, you save yourself a lot of time.
I think the heaviest one would be the finance one. Like the finance one is probably one of the heaviest ones, right? Because it's like you're in forms of like longevity, and if that's the seriousness that it's going in, you're also stepping into like creating a life with this person. Yeah. And what does that mean? You know, because like what does that really mean for you guys? Because one person could be at a certain financial level, another person could be here. And when that comes together, what kind of lifestyle would that be? Or what lifestyle do you guys want to live? And are you even at the position to obtain that?
Yeah.
Are you going to work yourself up to build yourself up to obtain that one day? Is she going to have the patience to wait for your ass to get up there?
Yeah.
Or vice versa?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's... And then also, what are the views? Like, is it like, no, your money is your money, my money is my money, and you're about to like, no, like I'm trying to work together with somebody, you know? Yeah. I've always pictured that for whatever reason, and then now that's a thing, right? So I feel like the finance things would be big. I think you're right, though. Political and religious like thing is also huge.
Yeah.
But I think the money maker, damn, it's like
the financial, the ass down.
Yeah, it's that finance shit, bro.
Yeah, it's so important because and people are always like, money isn't everything. No, it's not everything, but it is something.
Yeah.
Because
it has substance.
Money is the way you fucking survive. And we've talked about this before. Like, we're very much about like pursuing your goals and like, you know, looking at life from a different angle and not being so worked up on money. But on the other side, it's very important because it's the way you have a fucking roof over your shoulder. If you go into a relationship or a marriage and you have a mortgage to pay, and you guys aren't financially on the same page, money is the number one reason why people get divorces. Money is the number one reason why people get divorces. Why? Because it's your livelihood. You are relying on somebody else. Like, hey, I know I can pay half of this mortgage. I'm relying on you to pay the other half. Yeah. And if you don't, we're losing this fucking house, and our credit is fucked.
Yeah,
I know that sounds really intense, but like I think, like especially some of our younger listeners, you have to understand that your finances, as shallow as you may think about money, it is a part of life. It is the way we buy goods and services. It's what keeps a roof over our head. It's what keeps the lights on and the water running. Like you cannot escape it whatsoever.
Yeah, like I feel like you have a number. Everybody has a number over their head of like money. Like, in order for me to be surviving and living and having a place and eating food and just being able to sleep right and eat right and fuel myself, there's a certain number there.
Yeah.
What is my baseline
What's your
number?
budget?
Yeah, that's what I need to survive. And now, as far as like, okay, plans to start a business or plans to do a home or just create a cushion, now that's added to your baseline number of like, okay, this is my realistic number. And that's with everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody, you need that. So you're right, there is substance in that, you know, and I feel like people could get, I feel like you could find the balance in both, like find the balance in like loving life and not letting money just be the only driving force and thinking like that's the only reason to live is just to have the money, because then you might get lost in like what else, and there's more life. There's beauty.
You start to
life.
neglect your relationship
and,
over the money.
And there's beautiful things in life that you want to be able to have. So it's deciding, I think, also what kind of life you guys want to have. Because if it's like, if your girl hits you with like, yeah, you know what, I want to own $1 million home instead of a $500,000 home.
Yeah.
You know, now it's like, okay, well, how do we get there? Because I'm my income is nowhere near getting there, right?
Yeah.
And then if she's like, well, I've always visualized me being in a $2 million home. I'm working on that. That's my goal. Yeah. And you're on the like, yeah, well,
I'm just trying to survive.
I'm not. That's not for me. That's not necessary. I
Yeah,
could
yeah.
live on a $500,000 home,
Yeah.
be perfectly fine, happy, do shit at my pace, and that's what I want. Then that's those two different lifestyles that you guys are either gonna compromise and meet in the middle, or you're either gonna fucking work to get there, or it's that reality of like she wants something else in her future life of like what she pictures at.
Yeah.
Than what I do.
Yeah.
And it's
either someone either has to change and give in, or it's just not gonna work.
It's not
because
gonna work.
it's compromise, dude. Like I refer back to me and my partner. We are two completely different people.
Yeah.
But we compromise. Like, for example, her job is very stressful in a sense of like she takes care of living creatures, living animals, right? And so not recently, but like maybe the last month, there was a situation with some foster cats that got this thing called ringworm.
Yeah.
And it's contagious. It can be, I don't know if it could be deadly, but it's a very contagious disease. And so we at her job, the family that was taking care of them was going on, I think, vacation or I don't know, or they were moving or something, so they couldn't take care of them. So they had to get rehomed temporarily. And so there are 5 cats. And these are cats that are like grown.
Yeah.
Like they're not babies that you could just put in a corner somewhere. These are 5 cats that like to jump and run and play. And so she asked me, she goes, "Hey, this is a situation." And at the time we had the 4 little white babies, the 4 little kitties, right?
Yeah.
But at that point we had already we had given away 2 to another foster, and then we only had 2 with us. And so she was like, "Hey, I'm gonna find them. I'm gonna try to find them a temporary home, and I was gonna see if it's okay with you if we brought in the other cats."
Yeah.
And in my mind, I was like, "Fuck!" We went from having, at one point, we had, Sophia, Didi, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. We had 10 cats in the house.
Shit. Fuck.
Yeah, we
bro.
had 10 cats in the house.
Damn.
4 of them were part of a litter. They were only going to be there for a week and a half, and then they bounced.
Yeah.
The other 4 were the babies that we had. And then 2, we have...
Yeah.
Do you want to be a cat? Yeah.
Sometimes.
Man would role play as a cat. And so the other 2 cats are the OG cats. They just live in the house, right? And so, I was like, "Oh, cool. We just got rid of some cats and we're bringing in more. We're bringing 5 cats."
Awesome.
So, yeah, sounds good on paper until they're crying at 5 a.m, waking your ass up. Right, every day on the daily.
That's why your ass is going to the gym.
Because I might as well.
I'm fucking awake already.
And so, it became a thing where it's like, and we can start wrapping it up soon.
Okay.
It became a thing where it's like, I'm not working at her job. It's not my responsibility. Like, I'm not obligated to say, "Yeah, you could bring him in." I could have said, "No, I don't want him here." and it would have been something where it's like, shit, well, now she has to find somewhere else. But because it's like, I am committed to somebody who I know what she works in, I know what I'm getting myself into, you have to compromise a little bit. Yeah. And it's something where it's like, it was kind of an emergency because they had nowhere else to go at the time, and they had to get moved like fast.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, it's fine, let's do it. So in my office, we cleared out everything. So my studio stuff is in my living room right now.
Yeah.
It's just weird. And so the house is like kind of not a mess, but it's a little discombobulated because that's just not how we're used to having it, right? But the cats are doing fine. They're, they're fun to play with. And so that's where that compromise comes in, and it's something that you as a partner, you have to be cognizant of. It's like, there are some things about this person's life that are going to bleed into mine. Like, I never signed up to be like feeding cats and like playing with them except my own cats, right?
Yeah.
But here I am playing fucking, making them do tricks and having them flip back. You saw it, right?
I seen that.
Flip backwards and shit. And like, it's fun. But do I have to do that? No. Why do I do it? Because that's my partner.
Yeah.
And because I know that she has to put up with some of my shit. I'm not saying I put up with it, but she has to put up with my loud ass music. Yeah. Me fucking ignoring her sometimes for a couple of hours to work. Yeah. So it's compromise. And at the end of it, that's a major component in a successful relationship, you know. But
Yeah. So that's something that fellas remember that.
yeah,
For y'all fellas that are in that relationship, taking that relationship to that next level, passing the 1 year, 2 year marker,
Yeah.
thinking of longevity.
good impressions on the parents, on the family. If the family is close to, if your partner is close to their family, always give good impressions. It's always gonna help, and be funny.
Compromise. And if she's worth it too, bro, like compromise it's not like the hardest thing ever. Like
Yeah.
it's like
It's a
when you
no-brainer.
find that partner that's like so worth it, bro. It's like there's just no
You
question.
don't even question it. You're just
Yeah.
like, well, that's what has to happen. Then that's what has to happen.
Yeah,
You know, it's
exactly.
all good. But we hope that you, the fellas, especially you guys, took a lot of insight out of this. Girls, I don't know if this is what this is what I experienced. This is
Yeah.
what I've heard that other people have experienced. But ladies, if you feel that you experience the same thing, or that maybe it's a little different, let us know. I don't know. Drop us a comment, slide in our DMs, and
We're gonna have a good
let us know.
episode dropping soon for something else.
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So
We're
be ready for that.
definitely gonna try to do more relationship stuff this season. I like saying season. This season on the podcast, we're gonna try to
Hey.
do more like relationship stuff too. So so it'll be good for everybody, both guys and girls.
Let's get it.
Yeah. All right. So I think that's good, right?
Yeah,
We're good.
that's
We're good.
yeah.
Let me give us our official outro. You
Alright,
know what I'm
y'all.
saying, dog?
Already know, I feel it.
All right, y'all. Well, my name is Usica.
That's your boy Beast, y'all.
You've been listening to the Necked Out Podcast. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Peace out, y'all.